Take cover, my friend. There's a storm coming.
Come on! Hey everyone, it's Brandon, Breath of Fire. I have missed you guys. I hope you guys have missed me. It's been a few weeks, about a month or so, maybe just a hair over, maybe 5 weeks or so since I've posted. Been working on me, doing some healing, and doing some things that I needed to do to take care of me. But a couple days ago, guys, the Lord gave me a dream that I feel is significant, and so I wanted to come on today and share it. And I was on YouTube just a little bit ago and saw that Drew Wyatt had just gone live and put in a chat to him during the live chat and told him we were thinking about him and just so thankful for what he's doing in this space. And so, Drew, love you, bro, appreciate it. And guys, just wanted to kind of jump right in. This is going to be a very short video. Just want to share the dream and see what you guys think in terms of the interpretation. I have a couple ideas. I think for the most part, it's going to be pretty self-explanatory, but there's different little pieces and things that could be taken a couple different ways. And so, you know, in this community, we're big on dream interpretation. And so I know a lot of you guys out there are gifted in this area as well. And so drop, you know, your interpretations and things in the comments below. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first part of the dream, I'm gonna be honest, don't remember anything about. It was the second part of this dream that I remember, and that's why I feel this is significant, because this is the part that God allowed me to remember. And basically, the way it started is I was at someone's house, a friend's house, from back home in North Carolina, and we're starting to see on the news that there's a storm coming. And you could hear about it on the news and people were talking about it. I was on the phone and I was like, man, I don't know. I don't really see a whole lot. So I said, let me go walk outside. And so I walked outside, and it wasn't just like a normal yard or something like that. It was a very, very busy looking road, street, big buildings around it. It looked like a big, something that you might see in New York City, that type of, you know, road with big buildings on each side. And you could tell that it was definitely starting to storm. And as I looked further down the road, it looked like nighttime at the very end of the road. It looked like a dark sky with stars. And I was like, man, this is strange. Like, it's nighttime, but it's like daytime. I mean, it was bright. It was a sunny day outside. But as I looked down at the end of the road, there was kind of a night sky with stars. And I'm like, I'm going to go check this out. So I'm still on the phone, and I'm walking down the street, and you could see that things were looking rough. There were things that were kind of beat up. Looked like there was damage to buildings and cars and different things along the road. And I get down to the end of the road to where the night sky was, and it wasn't a night sky. It was a shopping mall. Now, this is actually the second dream I've had about storms associated with malls. So that's kind of interesting. So I walked into this dark area that was a shopping mall and began to look around and was going through some of the different rooms. And I came to one room where there was a businessman who had like a kind of a black suit, white shirt, red tie. And it looked like he was either tied down or just laying down on the floor. And it looked like there were two people that were kind of either had killed him or were staging like a murder scene for this guy, this business guy that was, you know, on the ground in this room. And I'm like, what is all this? But for some reason, I didn't feel alarmed by that. It was almost like that I knew that it was kind of like a setup or fake, or that it was some kind of production, you know what I mean? Almost like it was planned. And so then I'm like, all right, let me get on out of here and go back down the street. So I go back down the street to where I was coming from. And as I'm walking down the street, I can see these, like, the best way to describe is that it looked like the Northern Lights. If you've seen pictures of the Northern Lights, how it has kind of that teal turquoise look to it, and the movements and everything. And so that's what it looked like, but it was flowing from the left to the right down the street, back from where I had just come from, the dark area of the mall. was flowing down the way towards where I had come from. And it was windy. It looked like, at this point, it looked like a scene from the movie The Day After Tomorrow, where the big tornadoes ripped through Los Angeles and you're seeing all these big winds and things are just getting ripped apart. And that's what it looked like to me. And these teal kind of aurora lights, northern lights are just flowing down through the street. And I hear the words, it's a crypto storm. A crypto storm. And so looking at that, I was like, oh man, what's going on? And I looked up and I could see the street signs. I could see one of them, the one that was a cross section, and then the other one that I was actually on, I didn't quite get the name of it, but I remember saying in the dream, I was on the phone, I'm like, look, there's a crypto storm, we need help. People were starting to gather around, almost like communities in the streets trying to huddle together. And I remember saying, it's at the corner of Wall Street, and I either said Wall Street and Manhattan or Wall Street in Manhattan, but those were the two names, Wall Street and Manhattan. And I was saying that this was taking place at the cross street there, at Wall Street, at the crossroads there at the Wall Street. And so I'm hearing crypto storm. People are trying to gather together and getting into communities. And somehow I knew that it was going to be okay. I don't know how to explain it. Everything was falling down around me. It looked like total chaos. But there was an internal peace that I had in the midst of this storm. And I was not necessarily afraid of what was going on. It was almost like I knew that it was happening, but that it was going to pass and that it was going to be okay. And I felt like the people grouping together in communities, just like this one right here on YouTube, the Breath of Fire community, we're grouping together, guys, and we're helping each other through what's to come. And so that was pretty much the dream as a whole right there. Again, at my home, it felt like nighttime. When I went outside, I expected it to be nighttime, but it was broad daylight. Looked down the street, what seemed like maybe half a mile down this street, dark, looked like sky with stars in it. I walked down it, and I remember thinking that this storm isn't quite as bad as I thought. And so I was out walking in it, got down there. There's the room with the businessman who was dead, or the death was being staged, something like that was going on. I leave, I come back out, I'm seeing the northern aurora light type thing going through the street, causing chaos. Or I don't know if it was causing chaos or it was just part of, flowing through the air through the chaos. Because it was beautiful to look at. And then I heard, the words, it's a crypto storm. And to me, when I'm looking at this dream and I'm thinking about it, we've heard the term crypto storm before in the news. And I'm going to be honest, I have not tried to dive into crypto stuff, anything like that, any of the prophetic stuff right now. I'm not tracking anything right now in the news for the last couple weeks. And again, my focus has not been on any of that. It's been on getting me to where I need to be with my health and different things like that. And so this isn't something that I had been thinking about the night before and went to bed thinking about it, or had heard something or saw something, on some media outlet and was thinking about that real heavily before I went to bed. That wasn't the case at all. So this just kind of came out of left field for me, but I do know that there have been people talking about crypto storms before, and I do know that right now in our country, there's a hot mess going on right now in terms of the crypto industry, right? Things are a lot of things seem to be upside down right now in a lot of different ways, and especially with the administration that we have right now. I'm really feeling that there's an attack on the crypto industry as a whole. Guys, Gary Gensler, this dude is a nut job. Let's get real. And the Lord has already given us a word about corruption and exposure. We're starting to see that. There's still more to come with all of that, guys. I really do believe that. And so we're heading into kind of uncharted waters with the crypto industry. You know, the whole XRP case, that's still hanging on edge. So there's all this uncertainty, what's going on. Crypto right now is getting a big negative reputation, to be honest, in a lot of different arenas. I know people who are millionaires who are just simply not investing in, I know personally millionaires who are not investing in crypto right now because they think it's such a bad thing. And the waters are just muddy and it's so uncertain because we're in a crypto storm. A lot of stuff flying around, a lot of things that seem to be in bad shape. And so that tells you something right there, guys, right? If you've got millionaires who are refusing to get into this space because of how uncertain it is and how unregulated it is, that says a lot to the state of this industry. And so, guys, what I want to encourage you with, though, is in this dream, I remember saying this was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, the storm. So whatever you're seeing, whatever you're hearing, whatever comes out in the next 3 months to a year, right? Do not be moved by it, right? Do not be moved by it. It's not as bad as you think. Stay in faith, stay prayed up, and stay with them diamond hands, right? Sell if the Lord leads you. But other than that, guys, stay positive. Don't get moved by what you're seeing. And the other thing that really stuck out to me, again, guys, was the communities, the people banding together in the streets. And it was that community, those people coming together to support each other through this storm that kept them, I mean, they were right out in the middle of the open of the road, stuff flying everywhere around them, but they weren't getting hit. Nothing was happening to them. And I believe it's because of that tightness, that community, right? Finding a space to get plugged into with people who are like-minded, going the same direction that you are, who are weathering this thing out. And the other thing that was really important was the fact that this was taking place in New York City, right there at Wall Street, right? On the corner of Wall Street. And so when you think about Wall Street, you may not think crypto right off the bat. You're going to think more in terms with stocks, right? We have the two biggest stock exchanges up there in New York. And so when I think Wall Street, it's not just stocks, but to me, it's finance as a whole. Anytime you hear the word Wall Street, you're thinking finances, right? You're thinking world finance. I think outside the U.S. too. I think money as a whole, big business as a whole. And so I would not be surprised, guys, if we see something major happening to the stock market here in the next couple weeks or a month or two. And I would not be surprised if this begins to take a toll with the crypto industry. Something's going to take place with crypto industry. And I don't really know what all the storm is going to be composed of. But guys, something is cooking. When you do a search on Google and you look up the definition of crypto, you'll see that the word actually, we relate it to the cryptocurrency industry, right? But the word crypto basically means hidden or secret. And its original term, too, had to do a lot with cryptography. And there's also a third definition for crypto, and it has to do with basically something being done kind of hidden by a certain party or group of people for kind of a hidden secret purpose. In other words, and it also says that it's basically politically driven. I'm going to I'll pull up a screenshot, get one off Google of it, and show you so I can give you the exact definition on it. But to me, that also speaks to something politically that's kind of driving this storm that's kind of hidden, low-key, secretive, that's going on. And just look around, like I said, guys, at all the stuff that's going on with the current administration, with the SEC, and the World Economic Forum. There are things happening that we don't know of. That's part of an agenda. That's part of a plan. That's on the down low. That's secretive. That's hidden. that's being pushed to promote something that they want. And so ultimately, we know that crypto is going to come out on top. It is the future of finance for not just this country here in America, but the whole world. This is the system that's in play that everything is going to be moving towards. So guys, don't get worried, don't get fudded out, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Don't buy into any of that. We're probably going to go through some tough times here, some tough patches, but just stay consistent. Like I said, keep prayed up, keep stayed up in prayer and in faith, and definitely keep connected to your community, right? Keep connected to channels like this and Drew Wyatt's channel, Prophet Sharon's channel, the Wealth Transfer with TC here on YouTube. Guys, stay connected with one another because that's going to be a key to getting through all of this and wading through these troubled waters that I believe the Lord is saying are ahead. So that's it, guys. I will see you on our next video. Please don't forget to like the channel, subscribe, do all that good stuff, share. But please leave your comments down below on what you think the dream means, and if there's anything that you picked up on that you feel significant. I love hearing all your ideas and things that you feel God's sharing with you about this content. So that's it, guys. I love you, and I'll catch you on the next video.